The sky over Earth burned red like fire. Lightning split the clouds. Winds tore across the launch deck, shaking the towers and making the ground tremble. Alex Carter stood near the edge of the platform, staring at the blue and white planet that had once been home. The air tasted of smoke and dust. Far away, huge waves crashed over drowned cities. The world was dying. Boarding in 2 minutes, a voice called over the loudspeaker. Alex's heart raced. This was it. The last ship. The last chance. He looked down at the boarding pass in his shaking hand. The word Starbound was printed in bold black letters. This ship would leave the solar system forever. But Alex almost didn't step forward. For a second, he thought about staying behind. His parents had refused to leave. They had chosen to die on Earth rather than live among the stars. Do I even deserve to leave? He wondered. But then the sky lit up with a strange, white glow. It wasn't sunlight. It wasn't lightning. It was something else. Warning, the loudspeaker blared. Energy wave detected. Launch in 90 seconds. Panic spread across the deck. The last few passengers pushed toward the entrance ramp. Alex clenched his teeth and ran. The ship loomed above him like a mountain of steel. Its engines roared to life, filling the air with deafening thunder. The heat was so intense it felt like the ground might melt. Alex ran up the ramp just as the massive blast doors began to close. A man in a uniform grabbed his arm and pulled him through. "You cut it close, kid," the officer said. Alex didn't answer. He was still looking through the window as the platform outside shook and cracked apart. Then, in a flash of white light, the planet he called home seemed to vanish. Alex gasped. For a moment he thought Earth had exploded, but then he saw nothing but empty stars where the planet had been. No smoke. No fire. Just, gone. What just happened? Alex asked the officer, his voice breaking. The officer didn't answer. He only stared at the blank window, face pale, as if he had seen the same impossible thing. Moments later, the engines fired. The Starbound roared upward, cutting through the last thin layer of atmosphere and into the darkness of space. Alex pressed his face against the glass. His heart pounded in his ears. There was no sign of Earth behind them. No moon. No blue glow. It was as if the entire solar system had been erased. "Please take your assigned seat," a calm female voice said over the speakers. "Prepare for cryosleep." Alex slowly moved through the narrow corridors of the ship until he found his cabin. Inside were 3 sleep pods glowing with cold blue light. 2 were already occupied by passengers lying still, their faces peaceful. Alex climbed into the last pod. The glass lid hissed shut, and cold mist filled the chamber. His body felt heavy, his breath slowing. But just before he drifted off, a soft voice spoke inside his pod. "You were not supposed to survive departure." Alex's eyes shot open. "What?" he whispered. But the pod sedatives pulled him down into sleep before he could say more. Hours, or maybe days later. Alex woke with a gasp. The ship was silent. His pod was open. Why had he been woken up early? The other passengers still slept, their pods glowing softly. He stepped out, shivering. The corridors were dark, lit only by emergency lights. Then came a sound, faint, metallic scraping. Alex froze. Something was moving deep inside the ship. He followed the sound slowly, trying not to make noise. His footsteps echoed in the empty hall. He reached the main control room. Screens glowed with strange symbols, not human letters. "What is this?" Alex whispered to himself. A new message appeared on the main screen. The letters changed, twisting, until they formed words he could read. "Turn back." Alex's blood ran cold. But there was no turning back. Behind him, something heavy moved in the dark corridor. The scraping sound grew louder. Alex took a step back, his heart pounding so hard it hurt. And then the lights went out. Darkness swallowed the entire ship. The dark was total. Alex could not even see his hands. For a moment, he just stood there, frozen. His own breathing sounded too loud. Then the emergency lights flickered back on, bathing the corridor in dim red glow. Alex's heart was still racing. Okay, stay calm, he whispered to himself. But the sound came again, the scraping, slower this time, as if whatever it was knew he was listening. Alex backed toward the control panel. The screen still glowed with the same strange message. Turn back. Turn back where? Alex said out loud. We're in space. The screen changed. New words appeared. You are not safe. Alex's mouth went dry. Who are you? He whispered. No answer. The message vanished, and the control screens went blank. Alex spun around, scanning the corridor. Nothing. But he could feel it, something was there. Watching. He grabbed a flashlight from the emergency kit on the wall and moved carefully down the hallway. The red lights made everything look like a nightmare. He passed rows of cryopods, each one glowing faint blue. Inside, people slept peacefully, unaware of anything wrong. Alex wanted to wake someone up. Anyone. But the control panel for the pods blinked red. Locked. No, Alex muttered. No. He kept walking. He reached the mess hall. Empty. Chairs floated slightly, bumping softly against the tables. The ship's artificial gravity was weak. Then something clattered behind him. Alex whipped around, shining the flashlight. A food tray spun slowly in the air, as if someone had just knocked it off a table. Who's there? Alex called out. No answer. He walked to the far end of the mess hall. There was a small maintenance door there. It was open. Alex hesitated. The sound came again, scraping metal, this time from inside the maintenance tunnel. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. The tunnel was narrow, just wide enough for one person to crawl. Pipes ran along the ceiling. Something dripped water onto the floor. He moved forward slowly, shining the flashlight ahead. Halfway through, he saw something that made his stomach twist. Claw marks. Long, deep scratches ran along the wall. Whatever made them had been big. He almost turned back, but then a faint glow appeared ahead. Alex crawled faster until he reached the end of the tunnel. There was a small service room with computer panels. The glow came from one of the screens. Alex approached carefully. Words appeared on the screen again, the same strange letters twisting into English. Wake no one. Alex frowned. Why? What's happening? The screen flickered. It is already here. Before Alex could ask what it was, the panel shut off. Then he heard a low, wet growl from somewhere behind him. Alex turned fast, shining the flashlight back down the tunnel. Something moved in the dark. He couldn't see it clearly, only the reflection of two eyes. They blinked. Then they started coming closer. Alex's pulse exploded. He scrambled back through the tunnel as fast as he could, heart pounding. The sound of claws on metal grew louder, closer. He crawled until he reached the mess hall and threw himself out of the tunnel just as something slammed against the door from inside. The metal shook. Alex grabbed a chair and jammed it against the door, holding it shut. The thing on the other side growled, then went silent. Alex stayed there for a long time, breathing hard. Finally, he let go of the chair and stumbled back to the control room. He needed answers. The screens were alive again, showing the ship's navigation. But something was wrong. The Starbound was no longer on course. The destination had changed. The ship was no longer heading for the human colony. It was heading into deep, unknown space. Alex tapped the controls, trying to switch it back. Access denied. Come on, he shouted, hitting the panel. Then, across all the screens, a new message appeared in bold white letters. We are not alone. Alex stared at the words, frozen. Behind him, the scraping started again. Slow. Steady. Closer. The lights flickered, then went out completely again. And this time, something breathed in the dark, just a few feet away. Alex didn't breathe. He stood completely still, gripping the edge of the console. In the dark, something breathed back. Slow. Deep. Wet. Then the emergency lights flickered on for just a second and Alex saw it. A tall shape, hunched, standing only a few feet away. Its skin glistened like metal, its long arms ending in claws that scraped the floor. And its eyes bright, shining yellow locked onto him. Then the lights died again. Alex staggered back, heart hammering. Who are you? He shouted into the dark. No answer. But the sound of claws scraped closer. Alex grabbed the flashlight from his belt, his hand shaking so badly he almost dropped it. He clicked it on. The beam caught the creature full in the face. It froze, covering its eyes with one clawed hand, letting out a deep hiss. Alex's stomach turned. Its mouth was full of sharp teeth, far too many to be human. Stay back. Alex shouted, swinging the flashlight like a weapon. The creature hissed again and backed into the shadows. Then, to Alex's shock, it spoke. Not clearly. Not perfectly. But it spoke. Human, not safe. Alex blinked. You can talk. The creature crouched low, keeping its distance. Starbound, wrong path, it rasped. Danger comes. What danger? What are you talking about? Alex said, stepping closer despite himself. But the creature just shook its head. Wake, no one, it growled. They find us, if wake. They? Who's they? Alex asked. No answer. The creature turned its head suddenly, as if hearing something far away. Then it darted into the maintenance tunnel and disappeared. Alex stood frozen for a long moment, flashlight beam shaking on the floor. Finally, he ran after it, crawling back through the tunnel, heart racing. But when he reached the service room, it was empty. Only the strange glowing device lay on the floor where the creature had stood. It looked like a piece of alien tech, smooth, silver, shaped like a spiral. When Alex touched it, the entire ship shuddered. The navigation screen nearby lit up, showing a new course deeper into unknown space. Great, Alex muttered. Now we're even more lost. Then the ship's AI spoke for the first time since launch. Its calm, female voice echoed through the hallway. Warning, unauthorized change detected. Destination, uncharted. Estimated arrival, 6 hours. Alex grabbed the edge of the console. AI. Lock course back to original destination. Access denied, the AI replied. Override required. What override? No answer. Instead, the lights came fully on. For the first time since waking up, the ship was no longer in darkness. Alex breathed a little easier. But the relief didn't last. When he looked out the nearest window, he saw something moving outside. Dozens of small, black shapes drifted just beyond the ship like shadows in space. At first he thought they were rocks. Then one of them turned, and its surface glowed faint blue like an eye opening. Alex stumbled back. AI, what are those? No data available, the voice replied. The shapes began to move, slowly circling the ship. Alex felt a chill crawl up his spine. The creature had said danger was coming. Maybe this was what it meant. He ran to the cryo chamber, staring at the sleeping passengers. Should he wake them? No, the warning had been clear, wake no one. But if those things attacked, he couldn't fight them alone. His mind raced. He had 6 hours before arrival at whatever new destination the ship was heading toward. 6 hours to figure out who or what had changed the course. And 6 hours to prepare for whatever waited out there. He turned back to the window one last time. The black shapes had stopped moving. They just floated there, surrounding the Starbound like a silent army. Then, one by one, they started to glow. Blue light spread across their surfaces, until they shone like stars. The entire ship filled with the eerie blue glow. Then the AI's voice came again, but this time it sounded different. Deeper. Colder. They have found you. The ship's alarms began to wail. The alarms echoed through the ship. Alex ran to the main window. The black shapes outside had started to move again, but this time, they were guiding the Starbound, pulling it towards something in the distance. At first, Alex thought it was an asteroid. Then the shadows cleared, and he saw it. A massive ship floated in the void, half broken, covered in strange markings. It was bigger than the Starbound by miles. And it was dead silent. AI, what is that thing? Alex shouted. Unknown structure detected. Organic metal hybrid. No life signs. The Starbound's engines powered down on their own. The ship slowed to a crawl. Then the airlock systems hissed and unlocked. External docking complete, the AI said. Alex felt his stomach twist. Docking? No. No, we're not. But the doors were already opening. A walkway extended between the two ships, glowing faint blue. Alex swallowed hard. The creature's words came back to him, danger comes. But he couldn't just sit here. If the Starbound stayed locked to this thing, whatever was outside could get inside eventually. He grabbed a light suit from the emergency locker and stepped into the docking tunnel. Each step echoed loudly. When he reached the derelict ship's entrance, the smell hit him sharp, metallic, and cold. The inside was dark except for faint bioluminescent lines running along the walls. He turned on his suit light and stepped inside. The air felt thick, heavy, like he was walking through water. As he moved through the corridors, he saw things that made his chest tighten: piles of bones, some human, some alien. The walls had deep gouges, like battles had been fought here. But there were no bodies, no weapons, just silence. He found a control room, its panels still glowing faintly. The writing on the screens was alien, but as Alex watched, it shifted into English. Mission report, Human Vessel Odyssey. Alex's blood ran cold. Odyssey. That was the name of the first deep space mission, the one that had vanished decades ago. The logs began to play automatically. A human captain's voice filled the room. Day 427. Contact with alien species confirmed. They claim Earth must remain hidden from the war. They offered a deal: Earth will be protected, but no ship may leave until the war ends. Static cut through the audio, then the voice returned. Day 550. Crew vote complete. We refuse. We will not be prisoners. They are coming for us now. If anyone finds this, turn back before it's too late. The log ended. Alex stood frozen. So the rumors had been true: humans had made contact long ago. And this ship, this graveyard, was the proof. He turned to leave, but a sound stopped him. Something was moving deeper inside the ship. Alex spun, light sweeping across the corridor. There a shadow moved fast, vanishing around a corner. Hello. Alex called, his voice shaking. No reply. He followed slowly, heart hammering, until he reached a wide chamber. In the center stood a huge pod, half open. Inside was something that was definitely not human: tall, armored, its skin pale as bone. Its chest still moved, just barely breathing. Alex took a step closer and the creature's eyes shot open. They glowed the same blue as the shapes outside. Human, it said, voice deep and echoing. You should not be here. Alex stumbled back. What is this place? The creature slowly stood, towering over him. This was the first warning. Your kind did not listen. Now, war comes for you too. Before Alex could speak, the entire ship shuddered. The lights turned red. A countdown appeared on every wall panel. Self-destruct initiated, 2 minutes. Alex's blood went cold. The alien looked toward the corridor and then back at him. Run. Alex turned and sprinted back through the corridors, slipping on the slick floor. The walls shook as explosions rocked the derelict ship. He dove through the docking tunnel, alarms blaring in his suit. Behind him, the massive ship began to tear apart. He slammed the airlock shut just as a fireball consumed the walkway. The Starbound broke free, pushed backward by the blast. Alex fell to the floor, panting. When he looked back out the window, the derelict ship was breaking into pieces, glowing like a dying star. But before it exploded completely, Alex saw hundreds of the black shapes detach from its hull and fly toward the Starbound. The AI's voice came again, calm and cold. Warning, unknown entities approaching. Impact in 30 seconds. The Starbound's alarm screamed through the halls. Alex scrambled to the bridge, breath ragged. Outside, the black shapes closed in like a school of sharks. Their glowing blue eyes locked on the ship, moving in perfect silence. AI. Shields up. Alex shouted. Shields engaged, the calm voice replied. A faint blue field shimmered around the Starbound. Then the first impact hit. The entire ship shook, throwing Alex against the console. Warning lights flashed red across every screen. Hull integrity at 90%, the AI said. Another impact. 85%. Alex's heart pounded. He had to do something or everyone in the cryopods would die before they even woke up. He grabbed the strange spiral device he'd found on the derelict ship and slammed it onto the console. The screens lit up instantly. A new interface appeared, glowing silver, filled with alien symbols. Unauthorized tech detected, the AI said. Foreign override in progress. Then the navigation controls unlocked. Alex grabbed the throttle. Okay, let's see what this thing can do. He pushed the controls forward. The Starbound roared to life, engines burning brighter than before. The ship shot forward, breaking through the circle of alien drones. But they followed, hundreds of them. Alex pulled up the defense systems and armed the rail cannons. Manual control active, the AI said. Alex fired. The cannons boomed, tearing through the black shapes. Several exploded into clouds of glowing fragments. But there were too many. AI, suggest escape route. Alex yelled. Nearest safe path detected, wormhole at 300,000 kilometers. Probability of survival, 47%. 47 is better than 0. Alex turned the ship toward the glowing tier in space the AI projected on screen. The drones swarmed closer. One latched onto the hull, clawing at the shields. The lights dimmed. Power dropped. Alex spun the Starbound, scraping the drone against a chunk of debris until it tore away. Shield strength 20%, the AI warned. Another hit, and the lights flickered. Alex fired the cannons again, clearing just enough space to reach the wormhole. The glowing spiral grew larger on the screen, pulling at the Starbound like a whirlpool. Engage jump. Alex shouted. Warning, entering unstable wormhole may cause permanent course loss, the AI replied. Do it. The ship leapt forward, and for a moment everything stretched and twisted. Stars became lines. The black shapes vanished behind them. Then silence. The Starbound floated in calm, dark space. Alex let out a long breath. His hands were shaking. Status report, he said. Shields offline. Hull integrity 60%. Engine stable. Navigation, unknown. Alex checked the star map. Nothing matched. Where are we? He asked. The AI hesitated. Then its voice changed deeper, almost human. You are outside known space. Safe, for now. Alex frowned. What does that mean? The console lit up again, displaying two glowing options. Return vector, Earth. Course lock, unknown space. Alex stared. Wait, he said slowly. Earth. Earth is still out there. Yes, the AI replied. Earth was hidden. Not destroyed. The alien warning was true. Your species was protected. Until now. Alex's chest tightened. If he chose to return, he could tell humanity the truth, warn them about the war that was coming. But if he stayed on this path, he could go deeper, find the truth about the aliens, about the deal that had been made, about why humans were never meant to leave. He looked out the window. The stars stretched forever. Behind him, thousands of people slept, unaware their future hung on one decision. Alex's hand hovered over the controls. Return home, he whispered. Or keep going. His fingers shook. Then, just before he pressed a button, the alien device glowed and a final message appeared on the screen. The war has already started. Alex's eyes widened. The screen went black.